Yeah. And okay. And hi friend. Because you know that and have you ever been in a church? Church. Hey, hey friend. Have you ever and have you ever been church? Friend. And have you ever and have you ever been? Have you ever been church? Church. Hey friend. And you know that have you ever and have you ever been? And have you ever been church? Church. And it's just because of the way you dress. Because and just because of the way you dress. Because and just because of and just because of the way you dress. Because of the way and the way you dress. The way you dress. And have you ever been to church? Because and just because of the way you dress? Yeah, many times. Yes, of course you are. And yes, many times. Yes, of course you are. So many times. I just and I wear clothes cheap. It's very cheap clothes. I wear cheap clothes. I wear clothes cheap, very cheap clothes. I wear cheap and cheap clothes. Cheap clothes. Cheap clothes, or and use the simple things. I use simple and very simple things. Simple things. Simple things. And I wear the cheap clothes and use very simple things. And so, some people think that I am poor, and that a lot of people think that I'm poor. Some people think that you just think that I'm poor. They just think that I'm poor. That I wear cheap clothes, use simple things. I think that I'm poor, and even worse that they think I'm not ambitious. I'm not ambitious, or even worse, they think that I'm not ambitious, and they think that I'm ambitious. I'm not ambitious. They think that I am not ambitious. And some people think that I'm poor, and even worse, they think that I'm not ambitious. Yeah, me too. And I've been there before, and I've experienced that too. Me too. And I've experienced that too. And I've experienced that too. I've been there before. And I've experienced that too. I don't think that there's something wrong. No, and there's I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Something wrong? No, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think I don't think that something wrong. No, there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Something wrong? No, and there's any and anything wrong with it. Something wrong. There's anything wrong with it. With it. The cheap clothes and wearing cheap clothes doesn't mean that you don't have money. I don't have money. That we don't have money. We can afford it. And wearing cheap clothes. It doesn't mean wearing clothes that cheap. It's a very cheap clothes. Clothes means no, doesn't. It doesn't mean that you don't have money. Yet it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that I don't have money. It means that I don't have money. It doesn't mean that I don't have money. I don't think there's something wrong. No, and there's anything wrong with it. Clothes, cheap, expensive. You're wearing cheap clothes. It doesn't mean that I don't have money, and it means that it just means that I choose to spend money differently. It means that I choose to spend my money differently. It means. It means that I choose to spend money differently. I choose to spend. I choose to spend my money differently. My money differently. I choose. It means that I choose to spend my money differently. Yeah. Exactly, you are. Exactly, true, so true. Because I have a family, a big, amazing, awesome, wonderful family to take care of. Like you, I have a family. To a big, awesome, amazing, a family, a small family. For what? To take care of. To take care of, like you and I have a family, you have family, we have family to take care of. Parents, children, and responsibilities, a long-term responsibilities. And the parents, children, children and responsibility, long-term and long-term responsibilities. Long-term responsibilities and responsibilities. Responsibility, like you and parents, children, long-term responsibilities, and I feel that I feel that the need to impress society. No, I don't feel that the need to impress society. I don't feel that. I feel like, no, I don't feel the need to impress society, the need to impress, that the need to impress society, the need to impress society. I don't feel like that. I don't feel the need to impress society. With clothes, items, watch, expensive clothes, car, house, items, with expensive, and with expand, with expensive clothes, items, expensive, with clothes, or items. I don't feel that. I don't feel the need to impress society with expensive clothes, item. But the opposite. Some people think the opposite. But that some people, that a lot of people that they think the opposite. They think that the opposite with expensive clothes, items, and some people think that the opposite. They totally believe that you have to trust that at your level. This is what they believe. They think and they believe that they think that you have to trust. They believe you have to trust. You have to trust at your level. Trust at your level. I know some people think the opposite. That they believe that you have to trust at your level, and that other people will respect you. So other people will respect you. So others will respect you. That respect you. So the others will respect you. But based on what? But respect based on what? But you said respect, but respect based on what? And respect based on what? Based on what? Respect based on what? Appearance or your character. Appearance or character. Appearance. Appearance or character. Your character. That other people will respect you. Respect on based on what? Appearance or character. I think appearance that shows, but it only shows you stylish, I think appearance, and I think, and I think that appearance. I think that appearance that shows, yeah, but only shows, and only shows, your style, stylish, your shows the style, that not responsibility, not responsibility, responsibility, not responsibility. Right, that's right. True, so true. That's right. I know that some people that dress very, very well, and they use very expensive things. They're very expensive things. Some people dress very, very well. I know many people, some people dress very well. Very well. I know some people dress very, very well, and they use very expensive things. They use very expensive, and expensive things. Some people dress very well. They use expensive things, but unfortunately, that they live in debt. Unfortunately, that but they live in debt. Unfortunately, live in debt. Neglect, and they neglect their families. Their big families, also amazing families, and or maybe probably that they neglect their families. They neglect. They neglect their families. And they're also amazing families. Meanwhile, I live simply, and I feel at peace. Meanwhile, meanwhile, I live. I live simply, and I live simply, and I feel at peace, and I feel, and I feel at peace. I feel at peace. Meanwhile, I live simply and I feel peace. And I know exactly that the money I earn, that the money I earn, that used for is being used for the what reasons, and the right reasons. I know exactly that the money I earn, I know exactly the money I earn, that the money I earn, and I earn. I know exactly the money I earn, that used for is being used for, is being used for the right reasons, is being used for Use for the right and the wrong, the right reasons. Use for that the right reasons. I know exactly that the money I earn is being used for the right reasons. I think that people, especially the mature people, understand that. They know that. They get that. I think people, especially the mature people, I think that people, especially the mature people, mature people, they understand that, and understand that. I think and I believe that people, especially the mature people, understand that. That when you are young, very very young, that you really want to prove yourself. I know that when you're young, I know that especially when you are young, I'm young, too young. You want to prove yourself. I know, and you want to I want to prove myself. Yourself, that when I'm young, you're young. You want to prove yourself. But when you grow older and older, when you grow older, and when you grow older, when you grow older, I know you want to prove, no, you want to protect, prove, no, you want to protect who, the people you love, you really love. That you want to prove, no, you want to protect that the people you love really love. The people you love really love. Prove, no, protect you love. True, that's true, so true, friend. That's true, so true. And like you, I used to like the nice things, nice car, yes, and nice trip, expensive things. Like you, I used to like. I really like, but used to like what? Nice, expensive, very expensive things. That are nice and expensive, very expensive things. Expensive things, like you. And I used to like nice things, expensive things, nice and expensive things. But when I had to think about my family, but especially when that I had to think about my family. I had to think about them. I had to think about my family. my family. But when, especially when that I had to think about my family, priorities, and my priorities that change naturally. And my priorities change naturally. Priorities that change naturally. Change naturally. These are my priorities. But when I had to think about my family, that my priorities change naturally. So, and sad. You feel that? Do you ever feel that sad a bit? Just a bit sad. Do you feel? And do you ever? You? How about you? And do you feel? And do you ever feel? Ever feel sad? But just a bit sad. Sad? Do you feel sad? When compare, especially when you compare yourself to your friends at that age, you compare, especially you compare yourself to your friends, your age, when, especially when you compare yourself, and you compare that you compare, especially when that you compare yourself to compare is when, especially that you compare yourself to your friends, to friends, to friends, to your friends at that age, your age, friends your age. You compare yourself to your friends at that age, your age. Sometimes. Sometimes I do. Especially when I see them driving nice cars, expensive cars, house, watch, and especially when and especially when I see them driving nice cars. When that I see them driving nice cars. That driving nice cars. That living nice house, or that wearing bandit clothes, or wearing bandit clothes, or that wearing the clothes, bandit clothes, branded. Okay, branded clothes. You feel it? Do you ever feel the sad, a bit sad? Yes, sometimes. Especially when I see them, my friends, driving nice cars, wearing branded clothes. And I ask myself that. And then I ask myself, but But then I asked myself. I asked myself that living for who am I, and who am I living for? That who you are, who am I living for? And do you know who I am? Who you are, then who am I? Who am I living for? Who am I living for? Who am I living for? I just ask at myself that who am I living for? I think that's important. It's a very important question. That's very important. It doesn't. That's very important question. Well, that's important. Very important. That's the important question. Very important. For other people, for other people's opinions, if you and you live for other people, it's that even worse than you live for other people's opinions. I live for other people. That other and the other people and other people's opinions. Other people's opinions. That's a very important question. If I live for other people's opinions, maybe I'm sure, I bet that it will never be enough. It will be enough? No. It never, and it will be enough. No, it will never be enough. It will be enough? No, it will never be enough. And but if you live your family certainly can't feel secure. But if you live but if that you live so that your family, that my family can feel secure, that my family can feel secure. If you live so my family can feel secure. I think life feels much better, much lighter. Life feels much better, lighter. That life feels much better, lighter, much better, lighter. I think the many people that they often on purpose that confuse the simple with poor. Many people think that I think society often confuse. They often confuse. I think the society made people often confuse often confuse. That often confuse. Confuse. Yeah. Society often confuses simple with poor. And a simple confuse simple with poor. I think is a choice, but being simple is a choice. But I think that being simple is a choice. And that being simple is a choice. Is a choice. Exactly you are. Exactly. Being simple is a choice. Exactly you are. And exactly. I know that, and I know you can. Absolutely, you can. You could buy expensive things. I know you can. You could, but you choose it. You choose not to buy. I know that you could. Absolutely. You could buy expensive. It's a very expensive things. I know you can. You could. Absolutely, you can. Expensive things. But you choose it. You choose not to. But I know you choose not to. You choose not to. Not to. And know that you can, absolutely you can. You choose not to. Because I can't? No, not because that I can't. Because, not because I can't. Not because that I can't. I can't. But because that I don't need to right now. Not because, but because I don't need to right now. Not because that, but because I don't need to right now. Not because, but because that I don't need to right now. I don't need to. I don't need to right now. I don't need to right now. Not because I can, but because I don't need to right now. That make you that it makes you less valuable than other people, than anyone else. No, that doesn't. It doesn't make you less valuable than anyone else. And that makes you less valuable? No, doesn't make you less. And that doesn't make you make you less valuable than valuable than anyone else, other people, and anyone else. That makes you, no, I don't think so. That doesn't make you less valuable than anyone else. Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. And I know that your value, my value comes from being responsible, and I know that your value and my value and our value, my value comes from. I know it comes from. It comes from. Comes from being responsible. That comes from being responsible. Being responsible. Be responsible. I know that your value, my value, comes from being responsible. That direction, having direction, and I know thinking ahead, having direction, having direction. Having direction. Having direction. Thinking ahead. And thinking ahead. Yeah, thinking ahead. And I know your value comes from being responsible, and having direction, thinking ahead. I feel like that. I feel that people they can control their spending, your spending, my spending. Then they usually think long term. They think long term. I feel like that. I feel like that people who control their spending. I feel like that people who they can control their spending, control their spending, control their spending. They spend usually, often think long term. Usually think long term. You think long term. I feel like that. I feel that the people who can control their spending, control their spending, usually often think long term. Yes. Me too. Yeah. Same here. That they spend a lot of money about to get praise. They don't spend a lot of money to get praise. And they don't. And they spend a lot of money. No, they don't. They don't spend money. They don't spend money to get praise. To get praise. To get praise. To get praise. I know that they don't spend a lot of money to get praise. They spend money to take care of your family. My family and your family, and take care of life. But they spend money too. I know they spend money too. They spend money to take care of life. To take care of life. To take care of life. I know they don't spend money to get praise, but they spend money to take care of life. Take care of life. And wearing cheap clothes and using simple things. I know where they did wearing cheap clothes. Where and they're wearing cheap, very, very cheap clothes. And cheap clothes. Cheap clothes. And using simple things. Simple. They're the very simple things. Clothes. They're just using simple. Wearing cheap clothes and using simple things. But sleep well. Sleeping well, so well. But sleeping well, without that, sleep well, sleeping well, and sleeping well, sleeping well, and without that, sleeping well, and without that, worried about family needs. No, without worrying about family needs. Without worrying about. Without worrying about. Worrying about the family needs. About family needs. Family needs. Sleeping well without that, and without worrying about family needs. I think that, and that I feel like wealth to me, and that feels like that wealth to me. That already feels like wealth to me, and that already feels like already feels like wealth to me. It feels like wealth to me. Wealth to me. I feel like that, and that feels like wealth to me. I really relate to that, and I really relate to that. I really relate to that, and I really relate to that. I really relate to that. I relate to that. And you and me, he, she, we, everyone that has a different faces in life. And you and me, we, I think everyone has a different faces in life. I think everyone has a different faces. Has a different has the different faces. Has different faces in life. Faces. Face and the faces in life. And I think that you and me, he, she, we, everyone has a different faces in life. And sometimes that you show off, show yourself, and sometimes that you pull back. Sometimes you show off, sometimes you pull back. And sometimes you show off, you show yourself, You know, you show yourself, and you show yourself, and sometimes you pull back. Sometimes that you pull back. You pull back. Sometimes you show off. You pull back for what? Focus. Focus on what truly matters. To focus on what truly matters. To focus on. And to focus on what matters, what truly matters. What matters, what truly matters. What truly matters. Focus on. And then when you really understand that your priorities that other people's looks and other people's opinions shake you. No longer shake you. Especially when you understand your priorities, and especially when that you understand especially when you understand your priorities, that your priorities you really understand your priorities, that looks, opinions, and other people, and other people's looks, other people looks and opinions, other people's looks and opinion, other people's looks and opinion that shake you, no longer shake you, no longer shake you, no longer shake you. Exactly you are. Exactly. That you live to impress society. You live to impress society. No, I'm not. I'm not living to impress society. I'm not living to impress society. And I'm not. Yeah, I'm not living to. I'm not living to impress society. To impress society. I'm living to impress. No, I'm not. I'm not living to impress society. Then I'm living. That I'm living so my family can feel at ease. So my family can feel at ease. So that my family can feel at ease. At ease. That's enough. And that's That's enough. Okay. So thì ok, mà chúng ta sẽ lướt nhanh lại cái này, cái cũng khuya quá rồi, chúng ta sẽ lướt nhanh cái này nha má. Ok. Chúng ta lướt nhanh cái này. Hey friend, you know that. And yes, and have you ever been to church? Have you ever been to church? And just because of the way you dress? Hey, friend, have you ever been to church? Just because of the way you dress, the way you think? Yes, many times, so many times. I wear cheap clothes. I use the simple things. I don't know that a lot of people think that I'm poor. I'm poor, or they think that I'm not ambitious. But they think that I'm not ambitious. I've been there before, and I've experienced that too. But I don't think. Yes, but I don't think. But I don't think is that there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And something wrong? No, nothing wrong. The wearing cheap clothes, it doesn't mean that I don't have money. Means that I don't have money? No, it doesn't mean that I don't have money. It means that I choose to spend that way. I choose to spend my money differently. Exactly because I have a big family, also an amazing family to take care of. I have a family, a wonderful, awesome family to take care of. My parents, children, and responsibilities, long-term responsibilities. And I don't feel the need. I don't feel the need to impress society. I don't feel the need to impress society with expensive clothes, items, cars. But on the other hand, I know some people think the opposite. And they believe that you have to trust at your level. They believe you have to trust at your level. There are other people, and other people will respect you. Others will respect you. But based on what? Respect based on what? Appearance or character. I think appearance that only shows is stylish. That is not responsibility. Right? That's right. I know many people that dress very, very well. Then they use expensive things, expensive car, house, but they live in debt, and even worse, that they neglect their families too. Meanwhile, as you know, I live simply, and I feel at peace. I know exactly the money I earn. I know exactly that the money I earn is being used for the right reasons. I know exactly the money I earn is being used for the right reasons, right place, right people. I'm sure that the mature people understand that. They really understand that when you are young, you want to prove yourself, but when you grow older and older, that you want to protect. You don't want to prove. You want to protect the people you love. That's true, so true. Like you, I used to like nice things, expensive things. But when I had to think about my family, my priorities have changed naturally. And do you ever feel the sad, just a bit sad? Especially when you compare yourself to your friends at that age, your age. Sometimes, usually, no. Often, no. Sometimes sometimes. Especially when I see them driving nice cars. They're wearing branded clothes. Branded clothes. But then, and that's when I ask myself that, who am I? Who am I living for? Who am I? Who am I living for? I think that's important. It's a very important question. That's very important. And that's an important question. If I live for other people's opinions, if I live for other people and other people's opinions, it will be enough. It will never be enough. It will be enough? No, it will never be enough. And if you live so your family can feel secure, I think life feels better, lighter, much lighter. I think society often confuses. I think that many people, society often confuses simple with poor. But being simple is a choice. I know it's a choice. Exactly. And I also know that you could buy expensive things, but you choose not to do that way. And not because that I can't, but because that I don't need to do right. I don't need to right now. And that makes you less valuable than anyone else? No, that doesn't. That doesn't make you less valuable than anyone else. Not at all. I know your value comes from being responsible and having direction. Know exactly what you do and thinking ahead. I feel that the people who they can't control their spending, they usually think long term. Yeah, I think that way too. They don't spend money to get praise. They don't spend a lot of money to get praise, but they spend money to take care of their family, life. They're wearing cheap clothes, using very simple things, but sleeping so well without that. And the most important thing is that without worrying about the family needs, that already feels like wealth to me. I relate to that. I really relate to that. Besides I think, and you have different phases. I have different phases. Everyone has different phases in life. Sometimes I know you show yourself. But sometimes that you pull back to focus on what truly matters. What is important? That when you understand your priorities, other people's looks, and other people's opinions no longer shake you. Exactly. And I'm living to, no, I'm not. I'm not living to impress society, but I'm living so my family can feel at ease. That's enough. Actually, it's enough. Okay. So, cảm ơn, thank you. Hôm nay cũng khuya qua rồi, hôm nay Quang cảm ơn nhóm rất là nhiều nha. Và nếu có khi nào á mà nhóm cần về rèn giọng á, về phát âm, thuyết trình, giao tiếp, các bạn đi du học á, các bạn làm ở công ty nước ngoài á, listen everything everywhere, thì nhóm cũng có thể nhắn cũng được anh em. Thank you, cảm ơn nhóm rất là nhiều nha. Thank you, cảm ơn nha. Cái này á, cái file á, này á, anh sẽ gửi lên group á. Cái group ở trên cái profile á, có nếu mà các bạn có thể nhắn anh gửi group cho nhóm, anh gửi file á vào nhóm á. Thank you, cảm ơn nha. Nhóm mà nghỉ ngơi thank you. And, cảm ơn thank you, cảm ơn nhiều. Nhóm nghỉ ngơi cảm ơn, thank you, cảm ơn nhóm nha. Yeah.